Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks.
Coach, the city of Seattle, known for coffee, grunge music, and, of course, rain. And we're definitely going to get a heavy dose of the last of those three here tonight as you look inside a wet and wild CenturyLink field. Tonight, it's a good Week 9 matchup here on a Monday night between the San Francisco 49ers and the Seattle Seahawks. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. And their quarterback, well, everyone knows he's got height, standing at 6'6".
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator said right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. 13 yards there and a Niner first. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
Going to throw deep for the end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. And the starting crew now for San Francisco.
And this team is coming in off of their open week, and to me, a pretty good time to have it, too, because it's pretty much right in the middle of the season. So I would think that they'll be pretty well rested and ready to go for the second half of the season. But even more importantly, they got a little bit of a mental break as well. That's going to help, too.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. James has got it. Complete. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. They face a 3rd and 4 after that last completion gets them 6. Back to throw. Lawrence. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now, since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So the opening drive does yield points, maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating first downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. So here come the Seahawks now for their first drive. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And the schedule makers have given them a little break right here. Back-to-back home games, and they won last week. So they're trying to make it 2 in a row before they hit the road next week. They have to take advantage of this break in the schedule.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go. Let's meet the starting 11 on defense for San Francisco. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
They've established themselves pretty well throughout this season. But boy, what a competitive group of people. They do not like that ranking they have now because they think that they're better, and they're out to prove it again in this game.
Watch my board. All right. Here we go. Let's go, D. Let's go.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. That's complete into the hands of Carson. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run on first down. It's Carson, and the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38. On second down now, it's Carson, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Mike 54. Here we go, D. Here I come.
On third down, Wilson. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
I will see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
The San Francisco offense getting their last-minute instructions before they take over here. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down. This is how the defense will line up for Seattle. This unit against the pass, hoping to get better for sure. Number 25 in the NFL right now.
Take those rankings, throw them right out the window, because this is what you prepare for. This is what you practice for. This is what you think about. The ultimate test, taking on the #1 overall offense in the league.
2nd and 5. Looking to complete it to Pettis, and he's got him. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. That one a first down pickup of 8. Now a give coming right is Breida. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And finally down at the 9-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Looking to throw. Lawrence. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Deebo Samuel was the intended receiver, but now it's 3rd and goal. This stadium once registered as the loudest roar ever recorded, and you can hear him now. 3rd and goal. Buying time to his left. And they will score. It's a 49er touchdown. It's their quarterback. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead.
That's a tough one there defensively, because look at the stops they got on 1st and 2nd down, and it's 1st and 2nd and goal. And then on 3rd down, they cover the receivers, but they leave an alley open for him to find, and he does. That is frustrating. You do almost everything right, and he still ends up in the end zone.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early as they've got it 1st and 10. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Here's Wilson. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. DeForest Buckner in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. And the punt goes out of bounds. Where will they put it? They'll put it just inside the 45-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. They're looking sharp, out early to a 10-zip lead and looking for more as they've got it 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the 49ers as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 44. Throwing to start the drive. Lawrence going to throw right side here. Complete. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
On 1st and 10, Lawrence. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Granted, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and a return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. It had been a near-perfect beginning to this football game. Already a double-digit lead first quarter, but their first misstep.
And you know how it is, partner. Sometimes when everything's going right, you start to feel like you can do just about anything you want on the field. This one didn't work out. If I were him, I'd go to my defensive captain and say, pick me up, my man. Help me out. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Nick Bosa, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. On the return is Pettis. Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. And possession will switch hands 1st and 10. And you want to talk about active hands. These guys, these defensive backs. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know, there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lawrence. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he's got the 1st down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. On 1st down, Lawrence. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on third down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage. Returnable for Lockett. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 22. They run on first down, but it only produces a gain of 2. It's 2nd down now. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. Second quarter now from Seattle, and it is the Seahawks with the football here as they've got a 2nd and 8 forthcoming. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And that will be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Matt Breed in the offense heading back out. It may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books. But it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Lawrence. That's going to be caught by Samuel. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
It's a gain of 26 as they pick up the first down in the process. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Now here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The Niners have the first down on a gain of 11.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, that was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. And the result here the same as the last play. Another tackle behind the line of scrimmage by this Seahawk defense. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. And just not much to be had there. 1 yard out to the 10.
That. Left pass. Left pass. Check. Watch 54.
On 2nd and 9. Wilson got a man. That's complete to Hamilton. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. On 1st down, Carson. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. The 2nd down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. The linebacker, Fred Warner, right there on the coverage. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the 1st down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the 1st half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
A pass down the middle is fought for and hauled in. That one good for 26 and a 1st down. The last drive he threw the pick, but he's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there's a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
Here's Breida. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Shaquille Griffin in on the stop defensively. The Niners on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 4. Man open, it's Goodwin. And he's going to have the 1st down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. That's the first catch of the game for Goodwin. It's a 1st down. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Cook. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Niners have the 1st down on a gain of 11.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
This is Breida. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line.
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. Dalvin Cook, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Niners are able to stretch their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe you go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
There's something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Coming up at the half, a reminder we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. And a quick throw here that's complete. It goes as a gain of 9, and it moves the chains. Now Wilson. He'll check that down to Carson. Now Carson fumbles the football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Partner, they're less than 2 minutes to go in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellows in New York.